5 audience members, 1 audience member behind the camera.
Cameras click to life and people scream as a cheetah chases after a gazelle. The cheetah drives forward with tremendous speed and agility, but the gazelle ducks behind a bush and gets away. It's a lucky day for the gazelle, but it also happens to be a lucky day for the people who are watching this fabulous act of nature. In Tanzania, there are many different things to do. There's something to do for the adventure lover, there's something to do for the culture lover, and there's also things to do for people who love nature. For the people who love adventure, there are lots of different things to do. The most popular thing for adventure seekers to do is come to Tanzania to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is the tallest peak in Africa and stands at 19,344 feet above sea level. It's a dormant volcano, even though it hasn't erupted in a couple hundred years. It still emits a sulfuric smell, so when climbers are climbing, they have to deal with the awful smell. A typical trek up the mountain takes about 7 to 8 days, and you have to stop at various different points to acclimatize to the different altitudes. A lot of people end up getting altitude sickness, so it's important to be in very good shape to climb the mountain. The speed record for climbing the mountain was set by a Tanzanian climbing guide, and it was set at 8 hours and 27 minutes. However, the climber suffered from altitude sickness and got sick both going up and coming down. The next person who would love Tanzania would be the cultural lover. The cultural lover has many things to do, and according to the Tanzanian government website, there are over 125 different tribes in Tanzania. The central and western part of Tanzania is very different from the eastern part in that the central and western part is dominated by native tribes still, while the eastern seaboard region is dominated by Islamic culture. One of the biggest tribes in Tanzania is the Maasai tribe, and the Maasai covers most of the central region of the country. This right here is a Maasai club, and it's one of their most important things that they have to carry around all the time. This, in addition to their spear and their cape, I guess you could call it, are what help them survive and protect themselves out on the plains of the Serengeti. The cultural lovers can also visit these different tribes through many different local outfits, and many of the local tour guides speak Maasai, so it's very easy to set up these tours. Another cultural aspect of Tanzania that started to flourish in the early 1900s was Tinga Tinga painting, and this right here is a Tinga Tinga painting. It's a native painting to Tanzania, and they're now very popular throughout the world and sold throughout the world. In addition to the different tribes, Tanzania is also a anthropological hotspot in the world. In the 1970s, the Leakey family, a group of anthropologists, came and they ended up discovering ancestors to humans' remains, and most of them were fully intact as full skeletons. The famous skeleton Lucy was found on the border between Tanzania and Ethiopia. The last group of people, the animal lovers, have a lot to enjoy in Tanzania. Tanzania has almost the best wildlife watching in the world. With over 20,000 square kilometers of nationally protected wilderness areas, there are more animals in Tanzania than pretty much any other country in Africa. And in these areas, the animals are allowed to roam free and wild and do whatever they like. Poaching is, of course, illegal, and it has very, very severe punishment. Sometimes death is a punishment for poaching. Of the most famous parks in Tanzania are in the northwestern part of the country, and they are Tarangire National Park, Lake Manyara National Park, the Ngorongoro Conservation Area, and the Serengeti National Park. These parks are known as the Northern Circuit. Many tours will start in a town called Arusha, and they do a loop up and around to the Serengeti and then back down to Arusha, and they usually spend a couple days in each park. Each park has slightly different things to offer. For example, the Serengeti has over 3 million large animals, so Cape buffalo and wildebeest, and people come to watch their migration, and that happens in the late spring. The other parks are known more for their birds and smaller animals because they're in more forested areas and other places. The Ngorongoro crater is known for its black rhinos, which are an endangered species right now, and there are only a couple thousand known to exist in the world, and many of them still are in Tanzania. The different types of tours you can take for wildlife watching range from a couple days to a couple months long, depending on how much money you have to spend and what you want to do. Some of them end up being camping in tents in the different parks, while others are in lodges and huts. Tanzania is a great place for everyone. There's something for the adventure seeker, the culture lover, and the wildlife lover. So no matter what you're interested in, Tanzania has something to offer. This, in addition to the fact that Tanzania offers lower costs than many other countries, make it a great place to come and visit.